Good evening and welcome. It is with some significant pleasure and super enjoyment and ridiculous excitement that I'm about to introduce three people that are joining me here to tell you and talk to you about Natural Selection 2. First off, we have Hugh, Overlord, Dark Wizard, and all-round ninja extraordinaire from Unknown Worlds. Hugh, thank you for being here.
Sean, it's an absolute pleasure.
A pleasure. Then we have Scrajm joining us from TR Arkea. You are no stranger to the studio. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And then I can say this is special time. We have Bitey joining us from Team Nexel. Bitey, welcome.
Thank you.
So guys, I should probably start off by saying that this is kind of a special moment because obviously I work here, but you guys have traveled here from around. Do you want to tell the good people at home where you've traveled from today?
Let's start with Bitey because I think Bitey's got an interesting story to tell.
Does he win an award for distance traveled?
He might do, in fact. Because Arkea, from Europe, most of the players from Europe, but Nexel, where are most of the Nexel players from, Bitey?
Well, most of us are from East Coast, Central U.S. We have one from the San Francisco area. But, you know, really long trips. And you saw me yesterday. I was kind of dead on the inside, and I didn't really have much to say until I came back.
Dead on the inside sounds kind of scary.
But I could do an impression now of Bitey at the dinner table last night. I mean, most everyone's enjoying the fact that they're meeting each other, having a beer, having a burger, and Bitey was...
Like zombie Bitey, I believe they call that.
It was zombie Bitey.
You know, I start dying when I get sleepy, and, you know...
Jet lag is probably like your kryptonite then.
Well, first time jet lag kind of went over really hard on me.
Cherry jet lag was popped. Wow.
Yes.
How are you feeling now?
I feel alive. I feel great. I've had a energy pill.
What? Just for the people at home, we're not condoning any kind of pill taking in any possible way. The ESL would like to rectify that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm teasing. I'm guessing this was an over-the-counter pill that was...
Yes, from America.
Okay. Well, that doesn't make it safe.
Would you like to know where I got it?
Yeah, I don't know. And obviously... Scrajm, where have you guys come from today?
Personally, I come from Sweden, but the rest of Arkea come from Norway, Finland, we have Germany, Austria, France. Yeah,
that's a good matchup. So, guys, one of the questions that is kind of on my, let's say, personal interest, knowing that we're going to have what is, let's say, an epic showdown, Europe via US tonight. What did you guys have to do? Let's start with the Team Arkea to get here tonight.
First of all, we had to bathe in a lot of nerd blood.
All over.
Yes, we're enjoying their tears, kicking their ass. That's what we did together.
Okay, nerd tears and bathing in blood.
How many teams' blood did you actually bathe in? And where did you find a bathtub big enough?
Was it teams' blood or teams' tears? I thought it was like the tears of their defeat, like they were crying.
Well, they cried,
it was
they
the
died,
tears.
so you kind of get a mix of blood and
tears. That's a cocktail made in
some bar that I haven't been in yet.
that we need to find in Cologne. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Perfect. But how many teams did you have to take on to get here tonight?
I actually don't remember now when you're asking, but at least 7, I think. I don't remember by how big was the tournament?
It was a 16-team round robin, and we didn't have to play in the preliminaries, so it was like 9 matches-ish, and then a best of 7 at the semifinals.
It was a lot of teams.
Before that preliminary tournament, to qualify for that preliminary tournament, how many teams did you play in the league before that?
Okay, I didn't have to qualify.
Yeah, but in ENSL season 1.
Just for the answering this question.
So there was season 1 of ENSL to get invited to the Invitational Cup. How many teams did you play during ENSL season 1?
How
many matches?
I can't remember now.
Too long ago?
Yeah, too many teams, but 15,
a lot of teams,
15,
a lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of blood, definitely.
A lot of blood to bathe in.
Yes, and I loved it.
You got your 8 men in the Division 1 EU bracket, and then you have your qualifier tournament, which places you ahead of everybody. So it's probably about 30 matches, maybe 25-ish.
Would you have enough time in your trip from North America to here to play all those matches on that plane?
No.
Okay.
There's no way.
The big question that's on a lot of people's lips, is this the first time that you guys are playing each other?
No. This is not the first time, but it's been a while since we played last time.
When was the last time?
We were talking just prior now how long time it was since we met, but I think it was over a month actually.
It's probably about 2 months. There was another tournament, but
Yeah.
before that, we used to practice all the time. But
We stopped.
it's hard.
Dare I ask what the outcome of that last game was?
Ask Buddy.
Oh, well, you know, we'd lose a few here and there, and then take one, then lose a few here and there. But now it's a new team.
Okay, so can you tell me anything about the new team?
The new team is a lineup of one new guy from a team called Inversion, and everybody else has been training really hard. So
it's the
not
same
quite
team.
It's not the same team. There's one new guy.
That's interesting because Inversion was once the greatest team in natural selection too, and definitely the greatest team in North
Officially
America.
the greatest team, or
It
aren't we
was-
crowning the greatest team tonight?
Well, it was at one point the greatest team in natural selection too, so it's definitely a star
The
grab.
torch was passed over to Nexel.
There. Whoa, big words.
It's pretty exciting. So obviously, you guys have had a history against each other. You've had a chance to play each other, but I'm guessing that this is a pretty special time because you're going to be, what is it, a meter at the apart from one player to the other in what can only be described as quite close quarters, quite an intense environment. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I love the intensity. I do. I love
And
that.
bathing in the
yeah,
blood.
but I'm gonna sit just like 1/2 meter away from Versal, Nexel commander, and I'm just gonna stare at him like this. This is what I'm gonna do. Like, "Grr."
So intimidating and kind of like
Yeah,
that's
definitely,
part
I'm
of
gonna
your
look like
plan.
a grizzly bear.
And for you, buddy?
Well, I've never actually been into land before, so I am like super stoked and super excited. And I'm gonna be on camera. I love being on camera.
You're on camera now. So
I see this.
Really?
I'm on
We're on
camera.
camera.
And the excitement.
As informal as this is you on camera.
This is my big moment on camera. And I'm just beyond stoked and ready to play this because I've never done it before. First time.
Previously, when you guys have played each other across the pond, you must have been playing with quite a big ping differential. So the time it takes the signals to get to the server and to you from Europe to the United States. This time, ping 0. Is that going to change up the way the match feels?
Yes, it will because it's always different with registration across the ocean. It feels better when you're in your zone. And now it's going to be both teams at their peak here in a studio.
So that having been said, obviously I understand that there's, let's say, both an RTS element and a shooter element to the game. Do you guys have favorites? Do you have favorite factions that you like to play? Let's start with you.
No, I like both races, and I like the mixture of the two genres.
So you don't have a feeling when you step into the commander's chair, take that role of RTS on you, that you say, okay, now I'm really, I've got let's say the control more, or you say, hey, when I'm down on the ground, I could really lead from the front. Does either side suit your play style, or?
Well, obviously, since I'm never on the field, so I never actually experienced the FPS side. So I like the RTS more, obviously. But it's the mixture that makes it fun. It's real people down there on the floor, not just
Robots.
Yeah, robots.
Some terrible AIs.
Yeah, exactly. I get to scream at them and shout, and I love that.
And you get to raise their
What are you
adrenaline
doing?
and their stress, and you just make them feel alive.
Yes.
With
So
intensity.
is the same true for you, buddy? Or?
No, I'm actually a field player, and I only shoot things, and I try to command, and I don't do very good. I just shout at people. But when I'm on the field, it's my area of expertise. I've played FPS games for 10 plus years now. So, just being out there and listening to someone like Scrajm tell you what to do and then follow their orders, be like a sergeant, be like, no, we should try this. And they'll be like, I trust you, Bitey. I trust you.
Trust is key. So you touched on it there, actually, about the 10 years of playing FPS. What's kind of your background? How did you get involved? I mean, I know that there's the natural selection community is very strong. It's been around for a long time. The game, has been out for 10 years. So there's a real, let's say, history to it. What's your guys', let's say, stories that bring you to this today?
Well, most of my team is Quake players, some CS players, but me personally, I came from a 90s game called Tribes, if you ever heard of it. started there. Then I went all over the place. And my big starts didn't come till about 3 years ago when I played a game called Dystopia, which is another Source mod. Probably Hugh might have heard of it. And then I won stuff there, and then I moved up to another game called Left 4 Dead, Crisis, and then Natural Selection 2.
And for you, Scram?
I didn't play Natural Selection 1 that much, but I mostly played in my life RTS games, like almost. I would say that I come from the StarCraft community from the beginning. I played Brood War and StarCraft 2 a lot, and that's why I come in.
Nice. So basically, with looking at the teams that you guys have, you mentioned a little bit that you have a newly formed team, and obviously I know Arkea's got some. So basically, I think every player is from a different part of Europe. How did you guys meet each other? How did you guys form up? Start with
how did we form? I think Arkea started off like a pub team from the very beginning to play in NS2HD's tournament.
Oh,
that was cancelled.
Yes, that tournament that that never survived birth. It was,
What a shame.
And then
that sounds really weird. I'm just going to throw it out there. The tournament that never survived.
yeah, there was this tournament back in the very early days of the beta when things weren't working particularly well on the game side, but we going to try and hold a tournament. This was back when I didn't even work at Unknown Worlds, and it didn't happen. So I apologize for that. Very emotional.
No, it's okay. I hadn't bought the game then. So
there you go. All right.
I owned Arkea after that. But
Okay.
where I was getting at then, then we just played gathers a lot, and that's you meet new people and who know people, and then we just I found players here, I found players there, and then we basically got the team. So we just met each other playing like on gathers mostly. Like
You've got some really good Natural Selection 1 players in your team, don't you? Like, who have we got? That Fana played Natural Selection 1 a lot. How did they end up on the Arkea side if it sort of started off as a pub side? Because you'd think that players of that caliber from Natural Selection 1 would naturally be forming their own Natural Selection 2 teams.
I don't know what crossed their mind when they wanted to join, but I shouldn't know. I can't answer that question.
It's your charisma. They were drawn to you.
I think so
Scrajm.
too.
Like a moth to the flame.
They were
A
like,
great
they were,
leader
they
has
were
a
like,
great
Scrajm,
team behind
you're
him.
such a cool guy. Can you guide me in life? They said to me.
Not just the game, also in life.
Yeah, in life, of course.
Life coach, Scrajm.
Yeah.
Are you going to make like an infomercial or a DVD or a book? Or
What? Sorry?
Are you going to make an infomercial or a DVD or some sort of tour where I can just learn from you and maybe follow as well?
Scrajm's life coaching.
Yeah, they call me Gandhi. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? Are you sure you're kidding?
Yes, I am kidding.
People don't call you Gandhi.
No.
Okay.
They call me the Rager.
The Rager.
Nah. No, I have not started my DVD yet.
Complete box set to be announced in 2 years.
Bitey, where did Nexel come from?
Yeah.
How did they get to?
Nexel came from the creator of some guy who I don't remember what his name is, but I actually wasn't a part of the original team, and I was kind of a new guy to the community when I started my name. And you knew the team that I started on. It was Keed.
Keed Y Threadia? No.
Yes.
Keed Y Threadia.
Keed-Y Threadia with Smog, the captain.
That was an amazing team. They were really creative.
Well, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
There were teams in NS2 that were really, really good shooters. They had the game strategies just nailed down. But Keed Y Threadia is a team that would walk into a match and say, oh, the accepted rules of play are you go defensive upgrades first. You know what? Bugger that. We're going to go cloaking first and pull something crazy out. And it just made for the most entertaining play.
We liked hallucinations.
Yes.
It
Lots
was
of
very
hallucinations in the game.
strange to use.
So how Keed to Nexel? How did that happen?
Completely different level of players. Because the whole problem that happened with me and Keed was nobody wanted to really play very hard. And I just kind of tried to get on a team to pick me up. And I kind of migrated into Nexel because I knew some of the people in there. They noticed me. They're like, hey, Bitey, you're really good on Keed. You should join up here. And I had an arrangement with Smog. I'd stay for a month, try to get him going, and it didn't work out. And then I was picked up by Nexel. And slowly but surely I started kind of
Killing the other captains.
A little bit. I won't go into the details because it got messy once in a while.
Do it.
No, because it was really messy. It's the kind of mess that you don't do on camera. But after a lot of months of working on stuff, we eventually started forming up a solid 6 lineup. We had everything that we needed. We have 2 subs who aren't here, but it's a really solid team now, and I have confidence in them.
Well, great. That's kind of a nice segue that I'd like to ask. It actually wasn't a question I was thinking, but I'm throwing it out now. If somebody's watching this at home and they're thinking to themselves, hey, this looks like fun, I want to get stuck in, I want to set up a team, what's the process on that?
The process right now is that Natural Selection 2 is very much a game almost in another age, in that when you join Natural Selection 2, it doesn't present you with a box that says, log in here, and this is where you join teams, and this is how you get into the competitive community, which is why I feel these 2 teams are even more special, feel they are so special is because this is people engaging each other outside the game. So we don't put in place the structures for Archaea and Nexel to form. They've formed outside the game through forums, through chats, through maybe even meeting each other in real life. I don't know if that's a thing that's done anywhere, but that's how it goes.
Real life?
Yeah, I know.
You have to do the
Or
interview,
meet
you got to
space.
sit down, dress up,
Yeah,
tie
tie.
on, and hey man, so you want to join my team? Yes, here's
The
my
man with the
credentials.
rubber glove was surprisingly gentle.
The medical testing for Nexel is very
You need
intense.
to
I
be
hear.
clean. Drug screening's required.
Okay.
Except for the energy pills. That's
Well, that's
completely...
caffeine, taurine, some niacinamide. It's all
Some
vitamins.
what? Isn't that explosive?
No, that's nitrogen.
Okay.
Nitroglycerin.
Nitroglycerin.
No idea.
All right.
So one of the other things that we've seen in the build-up to this, and one of the things that's been heavily, let's say, contested, and it's a point of almost, I'd say, dividing people, is the relationship between the 2 teams. And there is maybe a little bit of underdog issue here. There is a little bit of arrogance that comes as well. Do you guys want to maybe touch on that? Maybe Archaea go first, or...
Well, I can go first.
Okay.
And I know what it's like to be on top of the world when you're on a team. Not NS2 yet, hoping to make that happen. But, when you win forever, it really does, inflate you. And I've had it happen before in different games. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to pioneer anything new. You just play what you know and you can win. And that's what it's like to be the number 1. And you can fill me in and see what it's like.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, I just know. I think it's interesting that I know that my gut feeling says, at least when you're talking to, reading the forums, when you're listening to when you're on public servers, and just play and hear people saying. Nexel are definitely the favorites here, the fan favorites to win, and I hope to prove them wrong.
Well, that's what you're touching on is really interesting, though, because it points out one of the great things that Archaea has done for the Natural Selection 2 community, is that Archaea stepped play up to another level. And when you last came to Cologne, your play was just of such a level that no one else could touch you. And what that meant was that players all in the Natural Selection 2 community and teams all through the Natural Selection 2 community had to step up their play to the next rung to stand with you on any stage. And so Archaea has done a wonderful service to the community by inspiring other teams to step up, and now Nexel very much has. And we've seen Nexel's play in the last few weeks has been amazing. It's going to be a really exciting match.
Yeah, I think that a lot of teams has, what's it called, they stepped up the game, and the gap is definitely closer than it used to be. I feel that last time we were here, we were more dominant than we are at the moment. Rest of the community has definitely, catched up.
It was like Archaea's the standard, way up there, and everybody was, could we beat Archaea? Could we do it? And then, it's just constantly improving, and they are like, your baseline of what the top of the game is right now. So everybody else would be stacked up against Archaea. Before we even came here, before we really got the chance of, we can make it to the NSL finals in Cologne. It's always like, could this work against Archaea? Well, that team does not playing like Archaea. That wouldn't work here. And it's just, you use them as the baseline. And they were the team to beat or try to play like. You imitate them, you take what they do, and you try to make it better.
So the ultimate question here is, does that give you in any way an advantage? Do you feel, hey, I like the role of saying I'm going to prove them wrong, or I like the role of saying, hey, I'm maybe the underdog, but the prize fighter that everybody's hoping, rooting for, the hometown hero that might come good on the night?
Wow. Well, that adds a lot of pressure. You know, that's a lot more pressure
Thanks,
than
Sean. Thanks for jinxing it.
You know, I come here as more of a player who wants to win, not necessarily for the world, but just to prove myself to everybody. Because I've never gotten this chance before, and you know, to be on the stage, to be here at an event, it's more of a dream of mine. You know, the first step that I told the team, and I didn't really share this with many people, but I sent all of them a text message telling them how much it really meant to come to Cologne in Germany, because I'd never been able to do it before, and I felt like I never had a chance. But now it's like I'm here, and I'm really here. It's gonna be amazing.
That's awesome.
That's truly awesome.
We get one awesome from you there, Hugh.
What Bitey's saying is touching on the core of what Unknown Worlds wants to be doing, which is bringing people together through games. And the fact that Bitey can say that he dreamed of being on a stage and being able to show his play to an audience like this, and that is now fulfilled, and that he was able to meet his whole team here in a whole other country, is a really special thing for us as a company. I mean, when Charlie and Max started Unknown Worlds, they wrote a motto, and a lot of companies have mottos, and you know they can be
Make
a bit,
money.
and they can be
Make
floaty.
money with this image.
Yeah.
But continue to make money behind it, please.
And they'll have mission statements and vision statements and all that. No, that's very nice, but Charlie just wrote down a simple phrase, which was unite the world through play. And you know, it sits there, and not a lot of people know about it, because as those phrases do. But this one is really coming true. We can see right here. We have Europe and we have United States sitting in the same room, and to everyone out there watching and everyone that's playing Natural Selection 2, this is now a possibility. And that means that as a company, we're actually achieving what we really set out to achieve with making games.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Scrajm.
I love it. I'm here.
Well, guys, I don't think there's anything to really add to that. I feel like that was, you know, the closing statement to end all closing statements.
Getting emotional,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm a little choked up here, so I'm going to say, first of all, Bitey, thank you so much for joining us. It was a real pleasure, and good luck in everything tonight. Likewise, Hugh Scrajm, absolute pleasure. Good luck to everybody at OK. And of course, Hugh, thanks for joining us. Thanks for making this happen. Thanks, guys, for taking part of this. And I think I can speak for everybody at the ESL. We're super excited to be involved and super excited to see where this goes.